Hi, it's Caitlin, and I'm here today with a gorgeous new collection from Cuticula. This one has a very cute name. It's called Here's the Tea, and all of the polishes have very punny tea-inspired names. The Cuticula Here's the Tea collection will be launching on the Cuticula website on March 17th at 9 a.m. Arizona time. I will include those details down in the description. It's always so fun to see what Cuticula makes, and this collection features lots of beautiful flakes, a really beautiful palette of colors, and some shimmer. I also have a group custom nail polish that is absolutely gorgeous, so I'll be showing that. It will also be available in the Cuticula website on March 17th. And I also have the March Shift Happens collab, which is a collab that Cuticula does with Rogue Lacquer. That is actually available now for purchase in the Rogue Lacquer website. So I will include those details in the description as well if you want to pre-order that duo. It's gorgeous, the collection's gorgeous, everything's gorgeous, so let's just get into it. Let's get started with Minty Fresh. This polish is described as a mint base with a large orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. As you can see, this one starts out very sheer, but that is because there are flakes and shimmer in here, and you want to build up the layers so you can build up those elements along with it, and so they don't get lost in the base color. And the formula is really easy to work with. As you can see, it does start building up really nicely on that second coat. This has a really pretty minty green base color, which I really like. And the shimmer stands out really nicely too because it is that large particle shimmer, so it's quite visible between the layers of polish. I could have left this in 2, but I felt like it needed a third coat to look more like the color I was seeing in the bottle. And honestly, the third coat to me did make a difference. It really sort of brought everything together and created a really beautiful finish. And this polish does dry down a little bit dull, which is why I will recommend top coat, and I recommend Cuticula's Limitless Quick Dry Top Coat, which dries so quickly. It leaves such a shiny finish for your polish, and it doesn't smear anything. It's just my favorite top coat, and it comes in so many delicious scents. So here's the polish in 3 coats plus top coat. And as you can see, that shimmer is quite shifty, and the flakes also shift around in color as well, which is really fun. Thankfully, the sun was out, so I was able to capture the polishes in the sun, and you can really see how that shimmer changes with the lighting. Moving along, we have T-Rex, and this one is a deeper color. It's a mossy green base with large orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. We basically have the same concept with this collection with all the polishes in terms of the shimmer and the flakes, but the base color varies, and I think it has a really beautiful color palette overall for the collection. And just like Minty Fresh, T-Rex does require a few coats to build it up to get that depth of color that you see in the bottle. But all of these, in my opinion, could have been left at 2 coats. I just wanted to show what 3 looked like for people who would do more than 2, which I feel like is most people, because most people have a longer free edge and a more visible free edge than I do. So just trying to appeal to what's out there. And as you can see, this one does start building up if you do a thicker second coat like I did on my middle finger, but if you're doing really thin coats on your nails, then you will definitely need 3 coats. I probably could have left my middle finger, but I just felt like there were some spots that it was darker than others, so I just kind of went back to touch it up. And once again, it's a little bit dull on that third coat once it dries down, so use top coat to bring out the glossiness. I didn't experience any issues with removal for any of these polishes. They come off really easily, and I didn't experience any staining with anything either, which is always wonderful. And here it is in a whole bunch of different lighting. As you can see, the shimmer in this one's really strong. I really like how the flakes built up in this one in particular, and I like the contrast of the shimmer with the base. It's just a really pretty combination of colors, and it looks really good in the sun. As you can see here, it's like really golden and red. Here we have Tranquility. It's a really cute name, and this one's a turquoise base with large orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. This one is a really interesting base color, and I think it works really well once again with the shimmer and the flakes. It's just really well done. And I do really like the Cuticula formula. It dries down very quickly, so you can build it up easily without having to worry about sort of smudging or smooshing the layers as you build up the polish. It dries really nicely in between polishing. So by the time you're done 5 nails, you can go back and do the first nail again, and it should be dry. So here it is in 2 coats. Again, I really like how it looks in 2, but I'm going in with a third to show you what kind of depth of color you can get, and it definitely does deepen things up. This one, I think the flakes look just really good once again with the base color. It works super well with the shimmer. And as you can see, it's just a tiny bit more dull than when I applied it, and top coat makes it really glossy. I probably should have shown these polishes with a matte top coat, but I actually like these glossy, and I'm really particular and weird about matte top coats, so I like matte top coat on like pinks and purple polishes, but this color palette I prefer glossy. It's just something that I have an opinion about for me personally. So here it is. It looks really good in the shade, as you can see, and obviously it looks really good in the sun with all of the flakes and the shimmer just coming out. You can see the shifts depending on where I move my hand. This one is called Rust Be Time for Tea, and this one is a rusty red, if you couldn't already guess, with large orange to gold to green shifting shimmer and black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. This one's really interesting. Again, I've said it before, but I really love the color palette for this collection. So I think having this rusty red is just such an elegant and intriguing addition to the collection. And this one has a very gothic vibe to it with the rusty red base and then the like flakes that almost look black in this base for some reason. So everything, again, it builds up really nicely, but I think this is the one where I did 2 coats on my middle nail and that was sufficient, but I didn't go thick enough on my index finger, which what's new with that? So as you can see on my middle finger, it looks really good in 1 coat plus a second thicker coat, but I am going back on my index nail just to cover it again and make it look as dark as my middle finger. Once again, top coat is always recommended just to bring out the shine. And this one is really fun when you see it in the sun and different lighting. It's just a really nice color of red, and honestly I don't see a lot of red polishes in the indie world. At least I don't think I do. So I'm always happy to see one because I do like red nail polish. And here it is. That orange shimmer complements it really nicely with the base color. And it just looks super good in the sun, in the shade, in any of the angles I caught it. It just worked really well and just a really pretty polish. And last one from the Here's the Tea collection before we get into the other polishes is I Believe I Can Shy. And this one is a cream colored base with large orange, gold to green shifting shimmer and black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. And as I said that, I realized there's still another color in this collection, which I'm actually really excited about showing you. So this is the second last polish in the Here's the Tea collection. And as you can see, this one goes on really nicely. Considering it has that light base, it's not patchy at all. It's not streaky. It covers really, really well in just 2 coats. The flakes in this one, it does look like a really milky tea with the tea leaves because maybe the tea bag exploded. That definitely is what I saw in this polish. And everything just looks really good together. I also see Crowleys a lot, but I don't see Crowleys with a beigey, milky, creamy kind of base. So I was happy to see it with this polish, and it just works so well with the theme of the collection and all the other colors in the collection. You can probably see that when I built this one up on the 3rd coat, it really made it look different. Like the curly aspect was really obvious. So here it is in 3 coats. Now I'm applying top coat just to bring everything together, bring it all home. And here it is in some different lighting. It's kind of giving like cookies and cream, which is never a bad thing in my opinion. Cookies and cream is delicious. And the shimmer really looks nice here. You can see it in the sun. The red shimmer really stands out beautifully. And it's just a really interesting and unique polish in my collection. And now for the true final polish in the Here's the Tea collection, we have Blends with Benefits. And this one is a clear base topper with purple to red and blue to purple and green to blue glass flakes with black to red to green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes, which we've seen in all of the other polishes. So this one is a topper, but I thought it would be fun to build it up on its own just to see how it would look, because I am a fan of that sort of sheer negative space nail look. And obviously this is very sparse because it is a topper, but that's really good because even if you apply it over another polish, you can build it up in 1 coat or 2 coats and get a different density of the topper on your polish, which depending on how much you want to show through, you can build it up or not. And obviously this isn't fully opaque in 3 coats, but I did really like how it covered in 3. And it's honestly how I would probably wear this polish. I love it as a topper, but I really like it in this way. I think it looks super modern, almost like a work of art on your nails. It's just really interesting in my opinion. So once again, there is a bit of texture from the flakes, but 1 layer of Limitless top coat took care of any texture for me, and it made a really glossy finish, which is always what I'm looking for. And you can see those glass flakes shifting, which just looks so beautifully iridescent to me. And I just love how this polish looks. I love how it glows out of direct lighting like you're seeing here. I think it is totally gorgeous, and it also looks great in the sun. This one would look really good with a matte top coat. It's just a great topper. You know how I love my toppers. So happy to see a topper in this collection. And I am also going to show this polish to you as a topper. So on my index, we have an upcoming polish, which you'll see in a video in the next week. And I thought that this would look good over a sheer-ish shimmer, and it does. I was not wrong. I also wanted to show this over an upcoming polish in this video from Cuticula, and it looks great over both. So you can put it over anything and it's going to look good. And here we have all the polishes Facebook group custom. So you have to be a member of that Facebook group to get a code to buy this polish in the Cuticula shop. I will link the Facebook group in the description so you can join and get the code. This polish is called Peachy Please with Shimmer on Top, and it's a peach base full of gold to green to lilac shifting shimmer and green to gold ultra chrome shifting flakes. This one is really beautiful. It has so many things going on in it, but I think it comes together so well, and it really looks really peachy. It's making me think of fuzzy peaches. It just looks yummy, and I love the little tiny colorful flakes in there. They're just such a cute small size, and they accent the polish beautifully without taking away from anything else that's going on in the polish. And the shimmer is super, super strong, as you're going to see in a second. So I built this one up in 2 coats. I think it covered my nails completely in 2. And here you can see just how, firstly, holographic the polish is, and also how shifty and shimmery it is. This is a really beautiful color shift in my opinion, and I actually don't have any polishes like this in my collection, so I'm super happy to have this one in my collection now. And last but not least, we have the Shift Happens collab, which is available now, March 10th through the 17th, as a pre-order at the Rogue Lacquer website. So it's a different shop you have to buy it in, but Cuticula is the maker that always participates. It's always Rogue Lacquer and Cuticula. It alternates which shop it's available in, and this month it just happens to be in the Rogue shop. So the Cuticula polish is called Blossom by Blossom, and it's honestly the most beautiful purpley magenta shade. It also comes across as pink depending on the lighting, and it has a beautiful golden shimmer to it and hollow flakes. There's just like so many cute little things happening with this polish. It kind of reminds me of cherry blossoms, but like electrified. So I did build this one up in 2 coats. It has an amazing formula. It only needed the 2 coats for me to get fully opaque. And I will recommend top coat as always to bring out the hollow and also bring back the shine. It does dry down just a tiny bit dull. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and thankfully we had the sun cooperating so you can see the green shift in that shimmer in the sun. It's just super shifty and pretty and really interesting. I don't know why this polish has sort of captivated my imagination so much, but it's just a really interesting polish. It's almost nude and subtle at certain angles, and then just really flashy when you get it in the sun. So it's just got a whole bunch of different faces to it, which is very entertaining when it comes to nail polish. And the other part of the Shift Happens duo is Piles of Petals from Rogue Lacquer. And this one is beautiful, as you can very easily tell from my video here. It's a really intense flaky balm. There's really beautiful green and what looks like yellow and pink flakes. And then I think there's also some iridescent or glass flakes in there because it just looks so luminous depending on the lighting you catch it in. And this is another polish that you could use as a topper if you want. As you can see, it covers quite evenly, though it is very dense on the first coat. But I built it up in 3 coats just to get it fully opaque for anyone who wanted to see if that was possible. So with these Rogue Flake Balms, I find that the first coat is just to get good coverage. The second coat is building it up, but I try to be a little more mindful of where the polish is landing so that I'm getting coverage on all parts of my nails, which is what I'm doing here. And then for my third coat, it's just sort of a last go over of the polish to make sure I don't have any naked spots on my nail. And I just find these polishes really easy to work with. They give a really beautiful and unique finish. And this one is like so blingy, as you're going to see. It's just amazing on the nail. So you can tell that on that third coat, it really brings the opacity home and makes everything come together completely for full opacity. And there is a little bit of texture from all of those flakes, but top coat, 1 layer of Cuticula Limitless top coat smooths everything out. There's honestly no difficulty with removal, and it just looks fantastic. This would definitely look amazing with a matte top coat. And as you can already see, it's just super blingy. I've already said that once before, but it's a good description of it. And I really love how it looks in both the sun and here how it looks in indirect lighting. It's just so cool. I do have 2 favorites from the Here's the Tea collection. No surprise, I love Blends with Benefits. It's that gorgeous topper that I honestly really liked on its own in 3 coats as well. It's sort of like you can choose how you want to wear it, but I know I will be putting that over basically everything because I love the mix of flakes and glass flecks and the iridescence and the black flakes. It all just looks so good. And I also really love T-Rex, which is great because I love dinosaurs, but I also just love the polish. I think it has a ton of flakes. The shimmer stands out really nicely against the base color, and I'm just really liking how it all comes together. And while you're at it, if you're a member of the All the Polishes Facebook group on Facebook, or if you're not, join now. You should definitely pick up the Peachy Please with shimmer on top. I just think it's so adorable. I love how it looked, and I just can't wait to wear it again. And let's be real, you can't go wrong with the Shift Happens Duo. So if you want that one, head over to Rogue Lacquer's website now because it's only available for pre-order until March 17th. So let me know in the comments if you have any favorites. Let me know what you think of the Here's the Tea collection, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.